Hello and welcome to Chat UTD. This is my match reaction to the win against Southampton. A 3-0 win. First and foremost, a good result, a clean sheet, 3 goals. Other positives, big moment for Onana saving the penalty. It's not his strong point getting low down to shots, and obviously from a penalty you've not got a lot of time to think about it. And it was a big moment in the game. Because a couple of minutes later we then scored. And we won't know, will we? But I suspect had they have scored, it could have been a very long afternoon. So that's a really big moment, and you know, good for him that he managed to do that. The goal, of course, came from De Ligt. Great to see a centre back get on the end of something. I know Maguire scored the odd goal for us, but the days of Vidic, I know he wasn't prolific, but the days of Vidic sort of getting on the end of things and scoring towering headers, and I love those types of goals. It seemed a long time ago, so it's nice to see. Although it crawled over the line, didn't it? But who cares? It's nice to see De Ligt scoring. I think he's made a very good start to his career at United, and I hope he stays fit because I like him. I think I hope that he can resurrect his career at United because I think there's a player of real quality there. Amad again played well. He's played consistently well this season when he's played. He looks our most technically gifted player, and he was good again. Garnacho off the bench, brilliant goal. He was obviously the player that got fouled for the sending off, which at first glance I thought was a bit harsh, and then you see it again, it's like, actually, that's pretty naughty. Mazraoui's been pretty steady, and I thought I had a decent game today. Ugarte, what did he get, 20 minutes? But to my recollection, I don't think he gave the ball away once. And few ball retrievals, used the ball quite nicely. So a good game for him to come into because it was a perfect scenario for him, really. And we'll see. We can't really judge him on that, but still, a decent. He's got 20 minutes in his legs, and he played well. Xerxes, he played well today, and he's a really good link-up player. I'm just not sure he's going to score many goals. In Ten Hag's first season, you'll remember that in January we brought in Wout Weghorst. I'm not taking the piss when I say this. I think Ten Hag likes a link player who isn't necessarily in the team to score loads of goals. And I don't think he expects Xerxes to score loads of goals. I just think he obviously wants him to score, but I think he's thinking Xerxes will link play, and then the likes of your quick wingers, Rashford, Garnacho, Amad, Anthony, if he ever gets back in the team, in and around him, and Bruno obviously running on, would get goals. He's experimented with a false 9. I don't think Xerxes is a false 9, but I think he's like a hybrid 9 and 10, really. It'd be interesting to see if he played with Højlund, but I don't know that will happen. No, Leon, hopefully you're watching. You mentioned that to me in a message earlier on. I don't think he will play both of them, but it would be interesting to see him play both of them because I think that could work all right. So I'm not comparing him to Wout Weghorst in quality, but I'm just saying it's the profile of striker that Ten Hag has is maybe that link player rather than a prolific goal scorer. All the best, by the way. So lots of positives, and you're going to think, am I right, miserable sod when I move on to the next bit? But despite the win and despite keeping a clean sheet and scoring 3 goals and those positives that I mentioned, does it convince me that there's a brighter future ahead? Am I seeing something different, or is it an inevitable good result in amongst other crap like we've had loads of times? It's the latter for me. And let's see. I don't know. But this team is capable of winning games. It's capable of playing really well. But it's not capable of being consistent. And I didn't see anything today in terms of the way we played that made me think this is a snapshot or a sneak peek into a brighter future where we're going to be doing a certain style of play and we're going to blow teams away. They can only do what they can do. they needed to win the game. They did. They kept a clean sheet. You might be thinking, what are you on about? Why are you being negative? We've just won. But the line in the Telegraph, or a headline in the Telegraph, sums it up for me. United are back out of crisis. ... For now. And there's two big parts of that. United are back out of crisis. We're back out of crisis because we've been in crisis and out and back in and out, or on the cusp of crisis and then out so many times over the last few years, where we've put a decent showing on, we've won a game and people have gone, all right, that was decent. Let's see what they can do next week. And then the next week, we've absolutely stunk the place out again. And that's what today feels like. It's a win. We're going to win some games. We're Man United. We're playing a really poor Southampton team who look absolutely nailed on to go back down straight away. And I'm not trying to pick fights with United fans, but you get your top Reds who, with complete blind loyalty, never say a bad word about the team. To me, seem like they're watching completely different football to what I'm watching. And then when you get a result like today, are absolutely euphoric, going at people. Like, I told you this was a good team. You can't see a style of play. Look at that. We've just won 3-0 against Southampton. Yeah, we've won 3-0 against Southampton. So, I don't think it's the second coming. I don't think it's the start of the beginning of something special. I think it's a win that we're going to get. And that's what I can't prove it, obviously, and I hope I'm wrong. But that's what it looks like. This team has proven over a long period of time that it is capable of moments. Otherwise, we'd have been relegated, wouldn't we? It is capable of winning games. It is capable of doing okay at times. However, it's not capable of doing it consistently. And it is the same team that's more or less been there, with the odd exception, for the last few years. And that team has proved itself. The most it can do is second in the league in the season when there was empty stadiums, and it was a distant second. And in the January of that year, we weren't that far behind, and we couldn't kick on, and we weren't good enough to push for a title race. It wasn't a title race; we were a distant second, and we reached the Europa League final. But again, we lost. We didn't get over the line. So that's what this team's got in it over a period of time. We've seen it all before. We've seen it lots of times, because it's the same team with the odd addition and the odd person going the other way. So no, I'm not cock a hoop about today, because I've seen it before, and it just, I guess you become a little bit skeptical of what a win means, because I don't think it means a lot. Certainly not. I didn't see something today where I think, right, yeah, we've won, but I see a completely different style of play here. I see a completely different intention. I thought the best parts of today were when we counter-attacked, and because we're a counter-attacking team. But as I've said before, I think Ten Hag is at a crossroads now, because apparently the powers that be at United want to see a very specific style of play. I'm pretty sure it's not counter-attacking. So does he try and do that with players that I don't think he's got to achieve that? Or does he go more results focused and try and play counter-attacking football, because that's what this team suits? We're not good at soaking up pressure at all. So in some ways, is it a good counter-attacking team? Maybe not. But in terms of when our most potent way of scoring goals is on the counter-attack. So yeah, I saw something earlier on this week, and I think it was the Muppeteers guy said it, that apparently Ineos, of course they want results, but they want a particular style of play. It won't be counter-attacking, and today I didn't see, maybe I missed something, I didn't see a style of play that made me think, oh yeah, this is really different. Oops, we'll see. Obviously Rashford scored, and it was a good goal, and he had a shot as well, which was a decent shot. But I liken it to what I said about United fans a minute ago. The people that defend Rashford will now be all out there saying, put some respect to this man's name. and then you've got to do it next week, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after, and the week after. And I was working it out, not what after he scored, I mean earlier on today. His last decent run of form in terms of scoring goals, he wasn't even playing particularly well, but he was scoring goals, was March of not last year, but the year before. Not last season, but the season before. So like a year and a half ago. And I tallied it up with the amount of games we've played. I think it's roughly about 50 games. It might be a few more, but let's just say 50 games. That isn't form. You know, like you don't play your way back into form after stinking the place out for 50 games. So he scored a goal today. But again, I've seen it before where he scored a goal and then the next week he drops a 3 out of 10 again. So I'll reserve judgment if people don't mind, and I think he needs to go and do it again, as I say, next week and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. We need consistency, and I don't think we've got the players to do that, and I don't think he's got the minerals to do it. But good on him for scoring. It was a really good goal, and as I say, he had a really good shot as well. So, as I said, partway through the video, I probably like a right miserable sod, talking about where we're not going rather than where we are going after a win. But today's win and the style of win that we got does not make me think, right, now we're on to something, now we're going to be okay, now we're going to push on and move forward. It just doesn't. So a good win, but I think that's all it is. Glazers out.